Hello and welcome back to my channel. Everything is falling down. Stay. This bed is not great because it's like wonky or whatever. But welcome back to my channel. My name is Amelia. I upload book videos, weekly vlogs, reading vlogs, all that stuff. I'm just gonna get on with this video because it's gonna be a long one. Or it's gonna kind of be a long one, and I've got food in the oven. But hello, if you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, and please follow my social medias that I linked in the description. I probably should have made myself look a little bit better than this for this video, but here we are. I'm going to look like this because I want to, and I'm literally just doing a reading wrap up and my March hopefuls. I'll say March and April hopefuls just to be a bit more optimistic. No, I'm going to say March hopefuls. Let's leave it at that. So, this video is my January and February wrap up because I read 2 books in January. In February I read quite a few, and I could have left it till March. I was going to, and then I was like, but if I don't know how many books I'm going to read in March, and if I leave it till March, I am going to end up having a pile or too many to talk about, and then it's going to just be the longest vlog. So we're going to do January and February wrap up, and then my March hopefuls. I've got 5 books on my March hopefuls, and actually one of the books that's actually in the wrap up today is the one I finished yesterday, which was the 1st of March, but I'm going to include it in my February wrap up, January and February wrap up. I'm not going to go in any order. I will, if I remember when I read them, I will say it, but I'm not going to go in any order. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books to talk about, so let's get on with it. The first book I'm going to say is the one I actually finished yesterday, and it's actually one I read before, so if you don't remember my videos from last year, go have a look. But it's Daisy Jones and the Six. I wanted to reread this before the show came out, which is tomorrow when I'm filming this, not tomorrow when you see this. It comes out the 3rd of March, so it would have been out, but I'm probably going to say a few days or maybe a week before you see this. But I wanted to reread this and annotate it, and I did a whole video on this and a book that's in my hopefuls for March, which will be up after this video. And I just wanted to annotate the whole thing and like tab it and actually go through. I bought a new book for it because I wanted this cover. I need to take the sticker off, but it's fine. And look how many tabs. And this book still gets 5 stars. This book follows Daisy Jones and the Six. Obviously the Six are a band and Daisy is a singer who joins the band, and it follows the journey of their lives. It's told in an interview style. Mainly follows the lives of Billy and Daisy, but you get everyone's point of view throughout the whole book, and I love it because usually with dual point of view you get 2 people's point of view and that's it. You get everyone's in this, and I think it's a great way to tell a story because you get people who have only been in their lives like a small part of time, or you got people who are actually throughout the whole book, and I love it. I love Daisy. I honestly think it was amazingly done. The next one is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I read this during a reading vlog that is up, and I read it on Sunday recently, so the end of February, and I started off not exactly enjoying it. It was very slow at times at the beginning, and also I think because I read it going in knowing it was similar to Love and Other Words, I had this thought in my head like, oh, and I could tell it was so similar, and that's why it took me a while to read, but I fell in love with it. I fell in love with Persephone and Sam. I loved them. I think his name was Sam, if that was what, yeah, Sam. I loved their story, especially the fact that, because if you read Love and Other Words, it was the guy's fault that they fell out. This was kind of the girls, and I like this because it's usually in books it's always the guy's fault, and I like that it was Persephone's fault compared. And I'm trying my hardest not to spoil it, but that is kind of it. That's all I'll say. I won't say what happened, but yes. And it follows the lives of 2 childhood best friends, Sam and Persephone, who met in holiday cabin, and it's a great story, a cute little love story, a very fast read. I read it in like 3-4 hours, so yeah. The next one is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This is actually my top read of this year. Like, I know it's only March, but this is like my best read I've read this year. It's a 5-star read from me. I've got to say, every summer I'm doing a wrap up. I've got to say, every summer after got a 3-star from me. It's either 3 or 3-star from me. It was good, it was cute, wouldn't be my favourite book, but this got a 5-star read from me. I went in not expecting to enjoy it, well, I was worried I wasn't, but I fell in love with it so easily and so quickly. It gripped me so quickly. This is a dark retelling of Peter Pan, but not about Peter Pan. Well, Peter Pan is in it technically, but it's about Captain Hook and Wendy, and you're rooting for them throughout the book, which you would never think you'd do, considering Captain Hook is a villain. And there's no lie about it, he's a villain in this book, but the way the story is written, it's so gripping. I honestly cannot tell you how much I love this book. I'm not going too much into these because I have read all of these except 2 for videos, so there's not really a point of me going fully into it, but we're going into it. But yeah, 5-star read from me. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I understand the hype for this book. It's such a beautiful story. I loved it. I fell in love with it. It reminded me so much of The Duff. It was my first 5-star read of the year, so it's got 5 stars. And it follows the story of Liz and Wes. Liz has this crush on this guy called Michael, and he becomes part of the popular crowd, so she finds her way in with Wes and they have to basically act like they're dating so she can get Michael's attention, and in the end she does get Michael's attention and things go different. It's a great story and it kept me on my toes. It was a quick and easy read, and if you love romance, rom-coms, if you love The Duff, you will love this book. 5-star read. Then we have Twisted Games by Anna Hung, however you say her name. This is the second book in the Twisted series. This one follows the life of Bridget and Reese. You follow the life of Bridget and Reese, Bridget is a princess and Reese is her bodyguard, and it is the story of, I can't date her, I shouldn't date her, but I want to date her, and I love them. It was a great story, and I gave it I want to say 4.5 or 4.75 or maybe even a 4.25. This was the first book I read this year, so I don't really remember the rating, but it's around that. It's definitely a 4 point something star. I think I'm going to say 4.25, but it was such a great story and I absolutely fell in love with them. My favourite couple of Twister series so far, by far, sure. The next one I read was Beach Read. I did not expect to like this one as much as I did, because I did not like book lovers. If you watch my weekend of reading vlog, I was going on about how much I didn't like book lovers, and I kept going about how shocked I liked it, but it's true. This book really got me. I loved it. I loved January and Gus. This follows the story of 2 writers. They write 2 different genres, and in the end they swap genres, and they learn a lot, and a cute little love story there. And I absolutely love January and Gus, and this book got a 4.75 star from me. Next we have, I'm going to put these 2 together because they are literally novellas of the Hopeless series by Colin Hoover. I needed my Colin Hoover fix. I hadn't had a Colin Hoover fix in a while. And the only other books I've got is Losing Hope, which is kind of like the other side of Sky's point of view, which is Holder's point of view. And I was like, I'm not really sure if I'm ready to go through that story again. But I kind of wanted a Colin Hoover book, and I wasn't ready to read Confess. So the only other ones I had was the 2 novellas, which is Finding Cinderella and Finding Perfect. This follows the story of Six and Daniel. Great story. Very quick and easy reads. This I gave a 2.5 star. This I gave a 3.5 star because even though it's so short, I absolutely fell in love with it. They're so quick and easy, and I remember why I love Colin Hoover, because these did grip me very quickly. We'll get to the end of this. Next we have A Court of Thorns and Roses. This was one of my most hyped books on my TBR cart at the time, and reading it made me buy the rest of the series. So now I've got all 4 of the books to read, and I'm not going to lie, I'm excited but dreading it because they're thick books. I can't even read the Harry Potter books because they're that thick, and I'm like, I need to read one of them. But anyway, Court of Thorns and Roses, absolutely love it. This follows the story of Feyre, who gets dragged into Prythian, who meets Tamlin and Lucian and Rhysand. And I did not think I'd like this book, but surprisingly, I absolutely adored this book. I thought it was so good, and it got me so excited. I gave this a 4.5 star? One of them, a 4.5 star rating. Absolutely loved it. Great storytelling, and cannot wait to read the rest of the series. Like, I'll tell you that. Next we have Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This follows Levi and B, and honestly, I wasn't saying I loved it. I gave it a 2.5 star. It was just very, B was just the most annoying girl. If we had the, I said this in the reading vlog I did for this, if it was a dual point of view book, so you got both sides, I might have liked it more because Levi, I loved him. B, I did not like. She annoyed me so much. She went on about Marie Curie too much, and I got fed up. So, yeah, 2.5 star from me. Finally, we're going to end my wrap-up part on a high note. My final book I read in this last 2 months is Terms and Conditions. So it has been a really good reading month, so I've got some really good ratings, apart from the Love on the Brain, because I'm not including the novellas as much of a good rating because they're small. But Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, second one of the Dreamland Billionaire series. Fell in love with this book the moment I read it. I just loved it. This follows the story of Declan and Iris. Declan is the other brother, I think the oldest brother. And if you don't know the Dreamland Billionaire series, they're 3 brothers and they have to do something, complete something his grandfather wished for them to get the inheritance. And Declan was to get married, and he got married to Iris, and yeah, it was a non-love committal marriage at the start, but it's such a great story, and I definitely recommend this. Got a 5-star read from me, and I cannot wait to read the final offer. So that was my wrap up. I have actually got, now I don't do TBRs because I never stick to them, so I'm saying these are my March hopefuls because if I don't stick to them it's okay. But at least I've got the hopefuls. I might read something different, I might not. But the first one is definitely going to be read because I'm doing it for a video, and it is Reminders of Him. It is a reread. I read this last year, did not do it for a video, I just read it. And I absolutely love this book. And I really wanted to annotate it, and I wanted to like tab it. So I wanted to, and I knew I wanted to do that. I had it planned when I read it last year, that's what I wanted to do. But I was waiting at least for a bit to read other books that I loved before I went back to this one. So I'm doing it for a video. It's literally the book I'm about to start reading tonight, so I know it's going to be finished in this month. So Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This follows the story of Kenna and Ledger and kind of Scotty, and it's a beautiful story. A sad one, but a beautiful story. The next one on my list is, it's no surprise now that I was obsessed with Kingdom of the Wicked when I read it, and I wanted to get ready to read the rest of the series, and one of my March TBRs, and it's actually one I kind of started today. When I was at the hairdresser's because I had a bit of time, but I'm probably going to take it on a train with me because I can't annotate on the train. So it is Kingdom of the Cursed. It's the second one in the Kingdom of the Wicked series. It follows the witches of Amelia and the King of Wrath and all the other kings of the Wicked. And I'm very excited to read this book to find out what happens next now that Amelia's joined them in hell. So I'm very excited to see what happens next. And I love the colour of the cover. Gorgeous. The next one is a very apprehensive one, but I've already listened to the audiobook, so I know what the story's about. But 1, I want to annotate it, and 2, I want to physically read it because I find like I enjoy books more when I read it. But it's Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I've got the first 7 books in the series. I just need to get 3 more, and then I'll have the series completed. And I really want to read this. It follows Lillian Lowe, and I love the story. I think listening to it just gave it a little bit of a less impact to me because I was like, I'm also aware this is the first book in a long series, so I'm very well aware that this might not be the top read for me so far, but out of them all I'm really excited to get into it. I love Lillian Lowe, and I just love the story about it, so excited. The next one is one I've had on my TBR for way too long, and I still have yet to read, and It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I need to read this soon because I'm getting fed up with it just being like on my TBR cart and me not reading it. So I'm hoping to read this in March. I'm very high hopes for myself if I read it in March, so I'll be very shocked if I do. And then the final one I want to read is because I do love a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and I really want to read this book even though I hate that it's hardback. It is Carrie Soto Is Back. I honestly hate hardback books with a passion, but I've got 3 hardback books to read and I'm going to have to do it. So this is also my March hopeful because I love a Taylor Jenkins Reid book. And I need another one of hers in my life. That's not something I've already read. Otherwise it would be Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo I'd reread, but no. So yeah. But that is the end of this video. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe so you can see me at the end of March to see if I did read any of these books that I just said is my hopefuls. And please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, as I said, and please follow my social medias. And yeah, I'm going to end this video here.